Again. Tonight, I'm going to talk about what being a vampire really is and how it is made up. That's something that is metaphorically made up. It is fiction, which means not real, and nonfiction means real. I don't know who made up that crap, but that's stupid. Fiction means not real, and nonfiction means real. So it's very fiction and it's very metaphorical. It's not real, but it is real in the sense of when people join Satan's kingdom and get into like evil things. So I'm not going to be on this video. Hopefully I don't too long. Just going to break it down to wake people up and get some understanding, knowledge, and discernment of people in the kingdom of darkness that do evil stuff. All right. So the vampires is the people who sell their soul. So when you sell your soul, you become a vampire. You become dark. You find out who you are, what your ancestors did. You find out your bloodline, or you get powers and abilities and enhancements and singing, dancing. You get knowledge. You taking a bite of the forbidden fruit, the apple. Is just why a lot of times in the entertainment industry, you see everybody use this symbolism in movies and in their music videos. They play with snakes. You see the apple, and you see a lot of satanic stuff. All right. So when you sell your soul, eventually, sooner or later, either when you sell your soul, either you're going to be the sacrifice, meaning you sell your soul, you put yourself up, meaning when all of that is done, it's going to be you, or if you're going to have to get one to appease whatever demon or devil, save himself, whoever you've given yourself to. So that's why a lot of people sacrifice their mama, their best friend. So in vampire movies, when a person dies and they become a vampire, what do they do? What do they do? This is why I say the satanic evil red and gang is what I like to call it, really runs Hollywood, because they do. When a person in a vampire movie dies, what is the first thing they do when they die and come back as a vampire? And they join the vampire group, clan, or they're just a vampire themselves. They've been changed. They was bitten. What do? They take on their first kill. They go hunting. They go out and eat. That represents the person. And okay, so when you sell your soul and you're now dark and evil and full of darkness, and you're done. You sold your soul, blah blah blah. That's why I really do believe people that really sell their souls for real, and they've done human sacrifices, or someone has sacrificed someone on their behalf, or they had to lose someone. There's no such thing as coming back from that. There's no such thing. That's why I said if it was, bring those people back from the dead like Jesus did, because they're not coming back. They've been gone forever. But this is, and so when people sell their souls, this is what they do. It's a lot of evil work and rituals and stuff that these people do that goes into it. Sometimes people do rituals, do all types of stuff. Sometimes for people to bring stuff up, to bring whatever entity up, whatever like demon, high ranking, whatever type of demon this is, for them to get their power or dance abilities or singing abilities or talent or power. When these people do rituals, I don't think people know how rituals work. When people do rituals, the stuff can be so dangerous. Like it can be so dangerous. Like someone can literally die in the ritual. That's how like serious it is. But it will work. But like demons come out of like portals, like fierce, like killer creatures. That's what they are. That's literally what they are. And someone can literally die who's literally a part of that ritual. So that's why when I explain a lot of people who were sacrificed in order for one to fall, in order for one to rise, the other one had to fall, is because that there was demons and evil energy involved in that. And I kind of explained that when I talked about Leah and Beyonce when it came to all of that. And even she played in a vampire movie. But most of the times when people sell their soul, they'll do it in the first chapter of their life when their starting clock begins. They'll do their mom, a best friend, or whatever to get their career started off. It may be close to in the middle of their life and of them, as their souls has already been sold, but that's what the vampire thing is. That's what that represents. And yes, those evil, demonic, satanic people who wear the robes and do the rituals to fallen angels, demons, that's what they is, and Satan. That's what they do. When these people sell, and these people work in like high places. People have companies. People are handlers. They're like lawyers and stuff. And these are the people that manage people who in the industry who have agreed to the contract to do whatever they tell them to do. And when they sell their soul, they become a vampire. They're a part of the all-seeing eye. You know what I'm saying? Like people think like the people like to say, oh, the people who sold their soul, they're at the top of the pyramid. There's people above them. There's people like super above them. And the people that are above those people are saying then you come down lower. And then if you just look at the ladder and the pyramid and see who's all there, like you can like you just know, but they don't control anything. That's what I'm saying. It's the people behind it. They're just the face. They're just the image and the face front. Just like how they put black people and minorities on the news for the most crimes in the world, and we know it's all types of race of people who do all types of stuff in the same thing. Everybody has a role like to play. So anytime Illuminati is mentioned, you're always going to see an artist, a singer, an actress. Those people are controlled by the people. When they get in trouble and they got to go to court, see the judge, police, them people are really the Illuminati. Like the judges, the police, the people in high places, United States, like governments and stuff, like in monarch and stuff. Them are the people that are real Illuminati. Like police, FBI, like those are Illuminati. Like that's Illuminati right there. And they're in the real world with us. So it's not just a Hollywood thing. That is Illuminati at its finest. And that's why Masonry, when you hear Mason, that's why that goes into everything. That's why when people expose Freemasonry and what goes on in their family and gang stalking, that is Illuminati stuff. Because you have people in this real world that sacrifice their family members. You have people a part of the Illuminati in the real world where me and you live at. We're not in Hollywood. We're not in LA. We're not in the entertainment industry. But some of us can have Masons in our family, and they sacrifice people all day, every day. And they will get the police to do it, or they will do rituals and kill a family member for money. Look at what Kanika Jenkins' mom is going through right now. She was a Mason. She was an Eastern Star. She sacrificed her daughter in an evil hotel where there was probably a whole bunch of satanic people in a cult or some organ harvesting ring. Because y'all know people who are satanic are the vampires. I'm telling y'all. Like, they drink blood. They eat people. They are the vampires. You join that, that's just as dark as you can get. They eat people. This is what they do. They drink blood. That's why people come up missing when it's close Halloween time every year. It happened in Houston last year when it was Halloween. People were being found left and right in the bayous. Like, these people go out and murder and do rituals and say, come on. Like, come on. What's happening to these people? Who's snatching them? Cults are literally going around in vans and snatching people off the street. And this happens everywhere. It's not just a Houston thing. It's not just a Houston. They just put Houston on news. It's not just a Houston thing. They do this everywhere. They do this everywhere. They do this everywhere. It's just worldwide. Whenever it's close to that holiday, and it's not even just that holiday, they do it, or they do this all the time. Maybe on normal days they do chickens and goats, but they murk people all the time. They do. They do. And it's not just a Hollywood thing. And that's why when you look at documentaries and even in my collections, when you see when it comes to Hollywood and people selling their soul, that's why they bring up Freemasonry. Because that was around way before Hollywood was even built, way before Los Angeles was even built back in the 20s, 30s, whatever. That was already like there. They've been around since like slavery time. Since before, that's always been around. Like, that's always been around. And that's why, and honestly, Masonry and all that checkerboard stuff, that's literally just a mask. It is a mask. It is a mask. It's a mask. It is all you're doing is going around in circles until you get to the truth, which is way at the end, and you've wasted your time and your whole life being blind, because like Satan really does blind his minions. And by the time you get to the end and find out the truth, it's already too late. You can't go back, and you're so deep and so far in, you have no choice. Just like a person that sells their soul, once you get in, you have already been in it so far, so deep. It's almost, and I think they make it almost impossible for you to even turn around and go back. And you can't at a certain point once you've known too much and see too much, which I have said a millions of times in my videos, how you just cannot play with them like that because you can die and be killed. For example, like Kai, he's a part of them now. He's joined. So that's what happens. Like when a person sells their soul, when you know they joined, they come back out. They've changed. They're not the same. Like they're different. When they are gone and when they disappear for a while, they're learning. They're learning. They're being controlled. They're being like told what to say and what not to say. They're teaching them. That's what they're doing. Like Lil Nas X, he was gone for a little bit. He came back out and was going crazy. He got in trouble. That's a cry for help. This is what they do. That's why I say it gives bipolar. Like Kanye and all the people who break down, it's a cry for help. They know the minute they spill the beans and really be honest and really start talking, they will get come for. It will be over for them. But it's what they do. They go out in the street with they no clothes on, just draws, acting crazy, just doing silly stuff because they're tormented by demons. They're under control. There's nothing else that they can do, and that's what happens. And what will happen to anybody if they sell their soul? Literally, anybody doesn't need to be in Hollywood at all. People do this at home. You sell your soul, you will be screwed and done. You will be done. You will absolutely be done. There's nothing you can do. So that's just a simple breakdown of what becoming a vampire is. Vampires just people who join the kingdom of darkness, sell their soul, become a different version of themselves. Anybody become a witch, they will tell you. I've heard a story of this. This was a whole testimony. A lady sold her soul, became a witch, and a part of a witch coven. She was taken over. She was not the same anymore, but when she wanted to leave, she couldn't. Those demons were after her. This was in another country, mind you. It's not in America. This was an amazing story. She tried to get out. I'm telling you, people are a part of the cult. The demons, as much as they want to monitor and watch people, they are being tormented and monitored and watched all the time. And this girl tried to get out of the cult that she was in because she was a witch and joined a coven of witches and sold her soul to Satan. Literally I'm telling you, this stuff was wild in the 70s. I think this was in the 70s or 80s. She's grandma now. She's grandma. So I don't know if this was in the 60s. I forget, but she's a grandma now. That's what I'm saying. She's a grandma. But she went to the church. She gave her life to God. Oh, praise God, because he was the only one that was going to get her out of there. She went to the church. Telling when it gets real for these people, they bust through them church doors and they look for someone to pray for them and save their life because them demons is after them to drag them straight to hell. And so she came up in there and them demons was weighing on her backs and on her back and on her shoulders because the people who can see in the spirit what's on people, what's inside of them and who they are, saw that the thing she couldn't even sit up straight. Because the demons was on her shoulders. She was just sitting on her shoulders. And she had chains around her in the spirit. I told y'all, people who are in darkness have demons all around them, on them in chains, and they are just bound. And so the people who were the Christians in the church, they saw this and they started praying for her. Because she was really being tormented. So they prayed for her. And I forgot what was going on. The devils was talking to her. Like, they wanted to kill her. They were trying to kill her. They were trying to kill her. I'm telling you, I can't tell how many stories I know about people literally busting through those church doors. It's kind of like the hospital, like when someone's dying and they need to go to a room immediately. This is an emergency or they're going to die. That's how many stories I've heard of people coming into church because they're dealing with some real dark powers that's trying to kill them and take their soul to hell, and there's something's after them. And so that happened. They prayed for her. It takes a person that's really strong in God and that's powerful and full of light and that's praying and fasting and living really clean to really do that. You know what I'm saying? But they'll get people to pray for them and it'll just come off. And then they have to get deliverance, and then they have to get saved, and then they have to get filled with God's Spirit. And she was free, and that's good. She's in God. That's perfect. But this just goes to show y'all, when it comes to the cult, playing with demons, magic, drinking blood, the occult, it's not nothing to play with. Your soul, your energy, your very essence of you, it's not a game. It's not a game, because it'd be all fun when you get those powers and abilities. You could float or whatever dimensions y'all be saying y'all be going to. It's not a game. The stuff is real. When you want to get out, it's like trying to get out of a gang. If you know anything about gangs, you don't just get out. You have to get jumped to get out. Some people die because they try to leave and get out. That's how how the kingdom of darkness works. And that's why when people sell their souls, they can't easily get out. They can't. They can't. Kanye and them, all those people that do all that, they're punks. They're scary. They just go around saying silly stuff that don't make sense and doing little hoop parades and yelling all over, but they will never just come clean. Even that doctor that was saying what Kanye did, he was like, yeah, why don't you ask Kanye? Because when his mom died, that was one of the doctors that, I think that knew was going. He was one of the doctors when they told her she needed to be on the floor as she was spitting up whatever she was spitting up. But it was funny because it was like all the heat was being put on him, but Kanye was one that was responsible for his mom being sacrificed. So as he's in this interview, all of the heat and questions is being pushed at him, and I think at that point he started getting irritated. He was just like, you know what? I'm being asked all these questions because he didn't want to answer none of them because he's probably a part of the cult too, because they have doctors and people that's in the police and stuff that's literally in these secret societies, and he felt away in the interview. So he was like, you know what? He was kind of giving like, okay, I'm done with this. Ask Kanye. Why don't y'all ask Kanye what he did? And that kind of just wrapped up the interview right then and there. They kind of skipped it off and was talking about what happened to, I don't know her name, Adana, but he's responsible for that. You know what I'm saying? He is. He is responsible for his mother's go down. So that's literally like the similarities in what being a vampire is. You know what I'm saying? These people drink blood. These people suck the energy out of people. These people do rituals. It's more than just the pleasure parties. Y'all know what I'm saying when I say pleasure parties. I'm trying to keep my words clean. It's more than just the pleasure parties. They always want to talk about, they don't never want to talk about the real stuff. These people be killing people and coming after people. Most times it does not be overdoses. It do not be an overdose of pills or them committing suicide. No, these people send demons out to people to go kill them. These people do evil rituals to make bad stuff happen to them and for them to die. That's what these people do. They do this. They'll have a whole cult. Like these cults, you hear about these stories of these celebrities dying. I should put them in my collection where these people were literally found in their hotel rooms with candles and in praying positions. Like, that's weird. Like, what happened? So I'm saying, like, when it's time for you to go and something's coming to take you, I don't care if you walking. It's going to come for you. People think they just going to know and just be in their dying bed when it comes for them. No. Like, who know? Even Whitney. Like, they want to lie and say that the people, when these people get sacrificed and taken by the devil, there's people there who are like bodyguards or whatever that's there to cover it up and stash the drugs and like put them in the tub or on the bed and make it look like, they committed suicide or drugs, or they'll just put that story out. But something, most of the times, 10 out of 10, there's something evil coming to grab these people. There is some demon, there's some devil that is coming to get these people. Now, sometimes they would get killed by people. Like Isaac Newton, he was murdered for speaking out. They actually killed him. They actually do send people to come murder people who speak out and do come and take them out. They actually do. Because if they could easily come to your house and knock on your door and send the FBI or send those people out who they said, oh, are you actually going against Diddy? When Diddy was getting in trouble when he was in court, they were knocking on people's doors. Like, how do y'all even know where we live? Like, they're just knocking on people's doors. Like, do you have anything to do with the sabotaging of Diddy's reputation or whatever? Like, it's insane. So these people are insane. But that was the video of me explaining about the vampires, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Stay blessed and discern and safe and get some knowledge